They learn from one another.
You don't get them together in the same room.
Are the Bills ready?
I'm ready.
Ready.
All right.
Their season taking on the Missouri Tigers, who look for some consistency after a back-and-forth affair this year. A great crowd on hand tonight at Mizzou Arena. We welcome courtside Tom Hart alongside John Sundvold. What a wild ride it's been for Bruce Pearl and his Auburn Tigers. Off the court, certainly issues. On the court, no issues. All they do is win.
They have been terrific, especially on the offensive end, averaging over 80 points a game pre-SEC games, and they've continued that in the SEC play. And when you do that, you pile up wins and you pile up victories. The best start since '99 in SEC, 14-game winning streak from mid-November to mid-January. A team that is tough to play. 16 of their 19 ball games, they've had 4 people in double figures.
Fantastic run for Bruce Pearl. Meanwhile, it's the first year on the Missouri sideline for head coach Conzo Martin. Conzo's looking for his 200th win as a Division I head coach. Started his career in this state down in Springfield at Missouri State. And on to Tennessee in the SEC, out to Cal Berkeley. And now, kind of back home for the native of East St. Louis, Illinois. Missouri Tigers in the home white, Auburn Tigers in the road orange, and we are ready to go for Como. Tap belongs to Auburn and point guard Jared Harper.
Man-to-man defensively by this Missouri Tiger team. They will stay in that most of the night.
Here's Deshaun Murray. Gets to the rim, draws a foul. Mismatch inside one way or another with Murray. He is just 6'3", and he plays the 4, the power forward position. They remind you of another one that was a little bit undersized, Sonny Smith. Charles Barkley.
He wasn't bad.
Things worked out pretty well for us.
They did.
Oh, wait, that was Jeremiah Tillman who picked up his first personal, and it came in the first 17 seconds. That's been an issue for Tillman all season. Auburn employs a full-court press. They did it all game against Georgia last time out, both man and zone, and they start off by pressuring Missouri.
Trying to speed up the tempo a bit. Auburn wants to get out and run, get their shooters going early. Missouri, because they're more physically stronger, bigger than this Auburn team. Let's see if they can pound it inside.
Sean Murray commits his first personal. Missouri had a hard time against the Aggies interior of Texas A&M last time out. A loss on Saturday. They only managed 49 points on the road. Cassius Robertson tracks it down. Shot clock inside 5. And that's rejected. One of the best shot blockers in the league, and McLemore. Auburn the other way. And Jordan Barnett brings it down. Barnett for 3. Oh, it could have been Tillman's set. Thank you. We welcome those of you who just saw South Carolina win on the road at Florida. What does that mean? A win tonight for Auburn means Bruce Pearl's Tigers will be in sole possession of first place in the SEC. A whole lot of folks thought we'd be saying that this season. Cassius Robertson off the mark. And a low-scoring affair here early. Tom Hart alongside John Sundvold. Auburn's only points came from the free throw line on their first possession. Missouri is 0 for 3 from the Florida start.
And Mizzou did not shoot the ball well at A&M. Off to a slow start, and the home crowd anxious for this Tiger team to score more points.
Auburn's off to its best start in conference since 1999. In first place on the line for them now after the Florida loss at home. Here's Jordan Geis from Missouri.
High-octane offensive team for Auburn. They will try to get turnovers defensively. They will push. They will take early shots no matter what kind, whether it's deep or attacking the rim.
Auburn is one of the top tempo teams among major conference squads. Bruce Pearl's team plays faster than anyone in the SEC. He's in his 4th season on the Plains and looking for his first NCAA tournament with Auburn. Meanwhile, Missouri plays slower than anyone else in the SEC. So from a tempo standpoint, Auburn wants to get this thing going, and they can speed them up with some pressure.
A Missouri team pre-conference averaged 79 points a game. Since they've been in SEC play, only 65.5 points. 12th in this league in scoring.
Tigers looking for their first bucket. Home crowd hasn't been able to use their seats yet. A reach in, and it's nearly saved by Deshaun Murray on the sideline. That's how Auburn plays defense.
A very aggressive defensive team that Bruce Pearl brings in to Columbia. They will try to speed it up. They will have full court pressure. It might be somewhat token at times, but 3-quarter court. They have great feet, active hands. They will look for steals.
14 steals and 6 blocks for Auburn in Saturday's win against Georgia. Shot clock is now to 6. Geist tries to get inside, had nowhere to go with it, and he turns it over. There's always a shot blocker lurking for Auburn. Anthony McLemore.
Good hands by Murray, the 6'3" junior. Sat out a year ago, transfer from Presbyterian.
Off balance jumper, and Missouri loses it across the end line. Not much has gone right for Conzo Martin's team to start this game. Pardon me, they say that's out of bounds on Auburn. And here's the Auburn pressure. Cassius Robertson. Barnett for 3. And there's the first bucket of the night for Mizzou.
You think about their last 2 ball games. They beat Tennessee in this building, only scoring 59 points, only 49 points in College Station. The way this Auburn team plays, over 85 points a game and over 80 a game in SEC play.
But Auburn can't buy a bucket early. They are 0 for 5. Quick move, Kevin Puryear, and he banks it in. Back-to-back buckets for Mizzou.
Conzo Martin likes the tempo up if they can get rebounds. Push it to see if there's early opportunities against this Auburn defense.
Horace Spencer, part of an undersized Auburn front line, and Jonte Porter comes up with the block. Spencer is Auburn's biggest player at 6'8". Here's Jordan Geist. Wow, Missouri suddenly red hot.
Bruce Pearl wanted Geist to go to his left on all screen and rolls. He got to go to his right side, freed himself up, knocks in the long jump shot. Good matchup. Cassius Robertson guarding Bryce Brown. Brown, one of the hottest shooters in SEC play.
Brown's hit 14 threes over his last 3 games. Sean Murray with the pump fake, freeze for 3.
Well, how nice to have a squad that can spread you out. 4 of the 5 Auburn players on the floor now can shoot threes, much like this Missouri team.
Puryear mismatch on Spencer, got him in the air, and draws the foul. Bruce Pearl is awfully concerned with Kevin Puryear, the junior from Blue Springs, Missouri. Hit the game winner at the buzzer to end Auburn's season last year. And here tonight, Missouri dialing it up from distance. Back-to-back threes for the Tigers. Como, Marion Bright tonight. Number 19 Auburn comes to mid-Missouri and trailing by 3 in this matchup with Tigers. Welcome courtside. I'm Tom. He's on. Great matchup tonight. Auburn wants to go up tempo. Missouri would like to slow it down, but as you mentioned, they're not afraid to run in their own building.
Yeah, they'd like to run at home if they can get stops and rebounds. They need some easy early baskets to get their offense going. Auburn, we know, is high octane. They've got shooters. They are one of 2 teams in this league, I think the other one being Florida, that can go on great spurts, great runs, this Auburn squad. On Saturday, they went 31-4 run against Georgia. They're not fearful to be behind. They're not fearful to be trailing at any part of the game because there's great confidence in Bruce Pearl's squad.
Here's a look at their offensive ranks. They lead the league in scoring, 5th in assists, 5th in three-point shooting. Not really that great, but been fantastic defensively. You mentioned that 31-4 run. It was helped by the fact that Georgia missed each of its first 14 shots to start the second half. And Puryear's got another free throw coming his way.
Tom, I think what's impressive about this team, this Auburn team offensively, is the numbers have not dropped much when you get into conference play. Normally we see a big drop because so well scouted, teams know all the strengths and weaknesses. This Auburn team has proven night in, night out they can score points.
Come in with the top 10 RPI tonight. The number 19 national ranking. Bryce Brown is a great scorer. Puryear gets his hands out. Barnett's already hit 1 3 tonight. Puryear coming off the bench recently for Conzo Martin. It's really been a revelation as a reserve. He gets his shot rejected there by Anthony McLemore. It's a second block for McLemore. Brown couldn't step through, but then his teammate Chuma Okeke there to follow.
Great follow by Okeke. You see the athletic ability of this Auburn team. Active, they're not big, they're not tall. They are quick jumpers off their feet. They've got good reach. McLemore, you said, 2 blocks already. 57 on the season.
This has a big game feel to it tonight. Great crowd on hand. Two evenly matched teams, even though they have totally different styles. Blocking foul to Bruce Pearl's dismay. It's the first shot McLemore, their shot block.
We have mentioned that Auburn is not a tall team, but very active around the basket and around the ball. And so there's the block by McLemore, and then they get off to the run. 1, 2, 3, 4 orange jerseys around that basketball. They will push it in a hurry.
He's only 6'7", yet he blocks 17% of the two-point attempts when he's on the floor.
Impressive. And I'm not sure opponents give McLemore his due because of his size at 6'7". They don't realize how quickly he can get off his feet.
He averaged 7 blocks a game coming out of Worth County High School in Warwick, Georgia. 7 blocks a game as a high schooler. Terrence Phillips got a bump inside, and the fouls piling up on Auburn. Okeke's first. Anthony McLemore, as I mentioned, just 6'7", one of the best shot blockers by height that you'll find in college basketball. At least in the SEC, only 3 blocks a game at just 6'7". You know, at the NBA level, Dwayne Wade, great shot blocker at 6'4" in his prime. And we got another foul on Auburn. It's Okeke again.
6 personal fouls against Auburn. And Conzo Martin told us today, Tom, that they want to pound it inside. So now he's looking at the foul trouble with Auburn. I would say that watch this ball has to go inside, maybe Tillman.
And we got an offensive foul. Tillman with his second.
That's been the issue all season long. Not enough minutes for Tillman. Gets in foul trouble a few too many times.
You know what's interesting? If you look at the overall numbers for the SEC as a whole relative to other conferences, the free throw rate is higher in the SEC than anywhere else. Meaning teams know how to get to the line. McLemore rattles home a triple. Or that would suggest that teams foul a lot. Take the pick.
I think we've got good teams, pretty aggressive on the defensive end, and guys that attack the rim.
That is already the 3rd block for McLemore. Could you imagine if he'd be in the Ivy League? He considered Yale and Brown. He'd be tearing it up.
He's
tearing up the SEC.
Yeah.
Terrence Phillips, and that one's blocked by Mitchell. Puryear. call it a block. Didn't sound like one. Deshaun Murray draws a foul on Puryear on the drive.
Active feet, active hands, this Auburn team defensively. Kevin Puryear didn't agree with that one. Raked right across his right arm.
So here's Deshaun Murray at the free throw line. He's already got 6 points. What an interesting story. He transferred to Auburn from Presbyterian. In the Big South Conference, he scored 20 points a game. He got 35% of the shots for the Blue Hose. And then you come to the SEC where you're an undersized power forward. You got to kind of change the way you go about your business.
Only 2 points in the Georgia game, 21 minutes. Fouled out, limited because he was guarding Yante Maton. The previous 4, though, he'd averaged 14 points and 9 rebounds a game. He is a talent offensively that, again, I don't think opponents understand how good he is off the dribble, at his size, and the fact that he can make jump shots.
Puryear, corner 3. Auburn able to get into their pressure, then their zone off of a Missouri make. Tigers from the Plains on a current 7-0 run.
Not a lot of patience on the offensive end by Auburn. They will take some early looks and take it quickly.
Porter gives it up. Geis tees it up. And it's way too strong. Here's Malik Dunbar. Banks it in. This Auburn team is fun to watch. Missouri's missed its last 8 field goal attempts. Reed Nico returns. Puryear will get a breather. Jordan Barnett returns for Missouri.
Tom, and the key is against Auburn, if you don't pound it inside, take advantage of their lack of size, and settle on jump shots and miss jump shots, it leads to plenty opportunities on the other end.
Barnett, assisted by Phillips.
Good pass by Phillips. Barnett has proven himself to be a solid shooter, whether on the move like that one or standing still.
Out to Mitchell. Terrence Phillips looking for a good game. And Jonte Porter on the glass. Phillips has found playing time hard to come by lately. Only a couple minutes in the first half against A&M. Tries to fit it into Robertson. It'll stay this way. We've got a timeout on the floor. When we return, we'll step into the anatomy of a game winner. Last time these teams met, Kevin Puryear with a buzzer beater to extend Missouri's season and send Auburn home for the year. Last time these teams met, Kevin Puryear had a career-high 30, and the game winner earlier this afternoon, I had him break down the play for me.
Okay, now you've got separation. You've got 10, 15 feet between you and your guy. The season hangs in the balance. Is there any thought before you put up this shot, or is this just reaction?
Honestly, it was just like let it fly at that point. You know, I had a pretty good shooting night up to that point, so that's the only thing that was going through my mind. And, you know, as a kid, you always want to be a part of big moments like that, so I just let it go.
So we saw you celebrating with your teammates, and now there's this energy that you have. You just won the game. I was wondering, did you ever tell anybody from Auburn you could play?
No, I did not.
Interesting you say that. Let's pull up X with full audio. Okay, so who did you tell you had game if you didn't tell Auburn? Who'd you tell you had game?
I told, I remember in the huddle when Coach Anderson was drawing up the play, I said, Dildy, if I get the ball, I'm scoring and we're going to win the game.
He scored. They won the game. What a remarkable night for this program. That was I think, I don't, you'd argue that was the biggest win of the Kim Anderson era because he'd already been let go.
And remember, we were there down the stretch. Auburn had a lead, and it kind of was over, right?
Yeah.
The last 5 minutes, that game was over, and we were almost kind of talking about the last game of Kim Anderson's career, all those things. And Missouri made a great comeback, and Kevin, to have a game winner is a terrific thing to have the rest of your life.
Well, I got to tell you, we first sat down in the Mizzou Control Center right here inside Mizzou Arena, and we played the play for him first, and he was, as you can imagine, just beaming, reliving that moment. You know, here it is in front of you, and I'm sure he's seen it multiple times. You know what would be better is if they put it to Titanic music.
That'd be a good idea by somebody.
Somebody should think about that. Courier's been coming off the bench. He's got 3 here tonight. You know, I think that recency bias 6 with coaches a lot. I was talking with Bruce Pearl today. He was really concerned about Kevin Puryear, and I thought, gosh, you know, he hasn't been as productive as some other guys on this team. And you remember, he dropped 30 on him last year, so that makes sense.
And maybe the key for this Missouri team, 1 is Barnett making shots like he did early in the season. 2 might be a guy like Puryear to kind of get out of his funk. He's under 7 points averaging a game in conference play. So he's got to be another weapon. Council Martin said to us this morning that it's got to be our 4-man, whether it's Jonte Porter or whether it's Kevin Puryear, that's got to be productive.
Here's Bryce Brown. Oh, he got the roll and a little fist pump afterwards. How do you feel about that as a shooter?
Well, I promise you, you're taking the next one you touch. When a ball like that goes in, it's a big night. Bryce Brown, one of the better guards in our league.
Now we got a double dribble and a turnover on Missouri. Brown is coming off of a 25-point second half against Georgia.
And rarely do you get a bounce like this one. We got that one, and again, he's one of those guards because of his ability to take you off the dribble and elevate. To the rim, he's fine, but when his jump shot goes, he can go as deep as anyone in this league at shooting.
199 career threes for Bryce Brown. Still a very young Auburn team. They were led in scoring by 4 freshmen last year, including Jared Harper at a time or 2, and he has it blocked by Reed Nico. Missouri basketball.
Now, Jared Harper made that move. If he lays it in left hand, Nico didn't get the ball. He keeps it, puts it back in his right hand, which gets it close to Nico. Nico blocks it, and an off the Auburn offensive play.
Small Auburn team all over, including at the point guard position. Harper 5'10". Stop and Heron broke that one.
You can see the early pressure by this Auburn team. Speed up Mizzou. Even in their home building, Bruce Pearl said, this is the way we have to play.
Foul on the inbounds on Bryce Brown. It's his first. Missouri shooting free throws.
Auburn having a tough time with the underneath out of bounds. They've stayed man-to-man. Many teams go zone. But they have really had a problem defending this Missouri team when they take it out. They've had 3 fouls now just on the inbounds pass.
Reed Nico, 52% from the free throw line on the season. Sophomore from Maple Grove, Minnesota. Super Bowl's coming to his neighborhood.
Another size guy for Conzo Martin. This is a big, tall, athletic Missouri program. Not many bigger squads in the league.
Nice back cut, but Deshaun Murray couldn't get it back to him. Jordan Barnett. Again, he's feeling it tonight.
He has had some big nights this year, especially in this building.
He hit 6 threes in the home loss to Florida. Missouri's only loss at home this season. Here's Brown looking for an answer, and he answers big time. Brown shooting 48% from 3 in conference play.
How do you defend it? Brown and a Barnett that can catch it and release it in a hurry, and you can't get to their shots. Very difficult.
Turned over. Here's Deshaun Murray. And a 2-hand jam for the transfer Presbyterian.
And if there are mistakes that Barnett makes, those are the mistakes. Sloppy passes, not taking care of the basketball, frustrates his head coach. Good matchup. Mustafa here, very physical guard, guarding Barnett.
Shot clock into single digits. Mizzou needs to reset. Geis step back, lost his shot clock at 3. Cassius Robertson will have to pull. It's a long 2. Breakneck pace here tonight, Sonny. And Heron carried it.
Exactly what Auburn wants, and I don't think Missouri backs away from it in their home building. I think they like this pace. As we saw, it gives Jordan Barnett freedom to get shots up early. Here's what you can't have. You just can't make mistakes. A good steal, but really a sloppy pass.
I would point out, though, from a tempo perspective, Bruce Pearl pointed out after their win against Georgia that it was the tempo that tired Georgia's legs that allowed Auburn to go on that second half run.
Yeah, again, Auburn was at home. That helps them. When you go on the road, it's much more difficult to tire a home squad out. Most home teams push the ball. Most home teams attack. Another turnover. Good steal.
Horace Spencer, open floor. And Terrence Phillips will turn it over. Commits his first. Time to catch our breath here in Boone County, Missouri. It's a 4-point lead for Auburn.
The assassination of Gianni Versace, American Crime Story, is here.
Gianni Versace was shot.
And you can watch every episode early and ad-free. Just upgrade to FX Plus for only $5.99 a month.
He was a genius. Everything you see around us was his life.
Just say FX Plus into your X1 voice remote to get advanced access to new episodes, exclusive extras, and the huge collection of FX shows. Get more with FX Plus.
Time now to take a look at our defensive spotlight, brought to you by Shelter Insurance. Didn't take long to build some highlights on the defensive end.
Yeah, let's travel to the Auburn block party. They brought plenty of defense in, and they've got 6 blocks already, and we're only 12 minutes into this game.
I'm so thankful most of my Como block parties weren't televised. Auburn leading the league in blocks, 7th in the country. Guys, what's shocking about this is a small team. I mean, their front line goes 6'3", 6'7", sometimes 6'8".
Yeah, and I do think, I've seen Auburn a couple times. I do think the opponents don't understand how quickly a McLemore gets off his feet. You look at 6'7". He gets off so quickly. The other day, I'm trying to think which Georgia player had a shot in the corner. Looked like an open shot. McLemore makes a block. And the Georgia player looked like, well, where did he come from?
Right.
I knew he was there, but he was a long way away.
Well, I once saw a shooter give a shooting clinic that talked about shooting over shot blockers. So what's the secret if you're a jump shooter to getting over the guy?
If you're a good jump shooter, you really don't mind them running at you because it's the luxury is it's fun to, as Bryce Brown would do, is shoot it in someone's face, so to speak.
Yep.
So you put a little arch on it and really invite the guy to come running at the shot. Full court
Got to
press.
get it over the guy.
Yes, you do. Quick release.
Auburn on a 6-0 run. Missouri a couple of turnovers to help this Auburn Tigers run. DeJounte Porter, the freshman, hopped with it, and that'll be another Missouri turnover. This is a dead ball turnover. Tuesday, another college basketball doubleheader. We'll be in Athens for number 20, Florida, coming off of a loss to South Carolina home. They'll take on the Bulldogs at 7 Eastern. After that, this Auburn team takes on Ole Miss at the Pavilion in Oxford. Both games right here on the SEC Network and streaming live on the ESPN app.
Like Frank Martin has had some huge wins with this team this season.
Murray rolls one home. 11-point game for Murray.
You know, Murray is one of those veteran players. You already talked about him being from Presbyterian, sat out a year. Now he's playing against some younger guys, DeJounte Porter, who traveled last time down. Murray's kind of that wily old veteran. Strong, physical, not tall, but understands his game and how to play.
This is not to be disrespectful because I think he's proven that he belongs at this level, but that's a guy that's going to dominate the YMCA for years and years to come. Like, he's going to be 40 years old, dropping 40 on younger guys.
Yeah, you walk in and at 6'3", 225, Again, another player that an opponent in our league would look at and go, okay, he's not very big. They're not too tall inside, but he's physical, he's smart, he knows how to play.
Well, and to give you an idea of how key he was to Presbyterian's offense, this is a couple years ago. Remember Stephon Moody from Ole Miss? Remember how often he took shots? This guy took a higher percentage of shots within the offense than Stephon Moody did. He took 35% of the shots. To put that into today's terms, Trae Young takes 37% of the shots for Oklahoma, and it seems like that dude's always shooting.
So what you're saying, we're shocked that Andy Kennedy didn't find it early.
Yes, yeah, it would have been a good fit there. AK always seems to have one of those. Here he is again, and trying to get a pass per year. He's able to draw the foul.
And we keep talking about Murray, but okay, what's he bring? He can shoot it outside. That's a cut away from the ball. Look at him cut hard. Bigger guys have a hard time staying with him. He's not the #1 offensive player that they're looking for at Auburn, but he continues again. Let's wipe out the Georgia game. He was in foul trouble guarding Deontay Maiden, only 21 minutes and points. I mentioned previously, 14 points, 9 rebounds a game for 4 games. He's a guy that his confidence keeps getting better and better, game in, game out. It's another offensive weapon for Bruce Pearl.
He was an honor roll student at Northside Christian High School out of Stanley, North Carolina. He was in the Spanish club, the Frisbee Golf Club. He told me this afternoon I wasn't any good at all at Frisbee Golf. It looked like fun. And we learned today he can play the drums, too. Here's Nico. Quick look at Porter. Touch. Ends in a 3 from Jordan Geist.
Tom, Auburn doing a good job of switching different pick and rolls. They're doing a lot of switching. The big guys are switching. Missouri had a hard time finding that interior pass that they want to make. That time, fortunate, knocked away, and the bucket was from the corner. Switch inside, the kick out, the fortunate play by Jonte Porter to pick it up. Geist with the 3.
Is Auburn more apt to switch because of the size disadvantage at every spot?
Yeah, but they're all similar size, right? And they're all quick with their feet. Now, Harper, the smallest player on the court at 5'10", rarely is probably going to switch off to a big guy. But the rest of them, we take Mustafa Heron, who's a physical guard at 6'5", right? He's at 6'5". We've talked about Murray at 6'3". Murray's more an interior player. Heron more of a guard, except they're big size, big shoulders, big bodies. They can physically handle bigger people inside.
And here's the full court pressure that Auburn has employed. They press Georgia the entire game.
Harper's got quick feet, quick hands. Always must be careful around the ball with him.
Geist coming off the screen. Drops it in.
Solid first half for Geist.
He's got 8. He averages 7. Here's the lob. Wow, what a finish. Mustafa Heron climbs to the rafters to throw it down.
Play call. Executed perfectly.
Cassius Robertson commits the foul.
The other impressive thing about Auburn, look at the play, nobody help on the weak side. Barnett just trailing Heron. Is the fact that we have big-time scorers, Tom, at Auburn that aren't afraid this year of sharing the basketball. I thought last year they kind of didn't fight about shots, but they worried about it. Right now, Harper hasn't worried about shooting the ball. Heron is kind of not worried about it. They get what's coming to them, and that's made them a better offensive team.
They've been much better transition defense this year. They've been way better at the free throw line. All things that hurt Bruce Pearl's squad last year. McLemore commits his second. More free throws coming for Mizzou.
And better rebounding too.
Yes.
But if you look at this squad, it's the same, basically outside of Murray, the same players that were here a year ago. Obviously, they're missing Sheriful and Wiley, 2 guys that we all thought would be here at the start of the season. But the rest of them have been around. They've been in Bruce Pearl's system. They understand what he wants. They understand his teammates, how they can best affect a game.
So here's what's shocking about who hasn't been on the floor for Auburn this season. They are 17-2. They're 5-1 in the league. They are without their 2 best players, Austin Wiley, who's a first-round pick this year in the draft, and D'Angelo Purifoy, who may be an NBA player. How much better can they be? I mean, do they lose to Temple with those guys? Probably not. A lot of people underestimated this Auburn team in the preseason.
We knew they had talent, everybody who watched them a year ago. Could they clean it up defensively? Could they rebound better? McLemore with another block. Wow.
Is that number 5 for McLemore?
How tough is it for Mizzou to find an open look? McLemore with his 5th block. Man, how quickly does he get off his feet?
Like a rocket, which fits because he was accepted to MIT. Turned over again. Harper, open floor. Almost like he was expecting the contact that didn't come, and then Missouri with another trap. And the Tigers turn it over for the 7th time this half.
Bryce Brown returning for Auburn. Placing David on Mitchell.
Almost an unforced error. And what happens when tempo, you get sped up a bit, you may worry about being guarded. Van Leer that time jumped in the air without even having anything to jump.
Whoa! Another quick rise for Anthony McLemore.
Explosive off the dribble. This Auburn team is. That time it was Bryce Brown off the dribble.
Geist down the paint. McLemore whistled for his 3rd.
Again, Bryce Brown, because he shoots it so well, you got to guard him closer. He can blow by you, and it allows guys on the backside like McLemore for an easy bucket. 3rd personal foul, and he really couldn't believe it. He felt that ball was on a tee for him to block.
Geist knocks down the 1st. So that's one way to get a shot blocker out of the game, is 3rd. Can't imagine he'll come back this half.
Puts pressure on Horace Spencer, who comes in the ballgame. Averages 17 minutes a game. Is going to have to be solid on the defensive end. You know, Mizzou will probably attack inside.
Mustafa Heron created some space. Nico has it taken away by Spencer. Harper. Why not? House money.
Wow, tough shot. He passed up the first one. Took a dribble, knocked in the second. Again, the ability of switching most screens.
Another
matchup, yeah, tough matchups.
Harper comes out of there with it. Transition 3. Will be Missouri basketball. Auburn with a 9-point lead. Auburn Tigers getting some high percentage looks. Harper dialed this one up to Mustafa Heron. And then Harper says, why not? Up an offensive rebound. Shoot outside. All right, PB, thanks. A lot of chuckles back in the studio. 2-drink minimum tonight, I'm pretty sure. What a win for Frank Martin's team, as Peter alluded to, knocking off Florida. It was the first ranked road win for South Carolina since February of 16. Big 12 SEC Challenge coming your way this weekend. Some headliner games, including Baylor and Florida. What a matchup of guards. Trey Young plays for Oklahoma, last I heard. He'll be taking on Colin Sexton in Alabama. And A&M has a chance for a signature win when they go to Allen Fieldhouse. All highlighted by Kentucky and West Virginia Saturday night. 7 o'clock Eastern. Nico left it short. Follows it up.
Out of the timeout, Bruce Pearl dials up. Full court pressure. Handled easily that time by Mizzou.
Mizzou switching in the perimeter. Turns into a turnover. 3-on-1. Phillips finds Robertson with the one-hand jam.
Solid minutes by Phillips off the bench for Conzo Martin.
And Phillips with the rebound. Fade away. And then a foul on the rebound. It's on Jordan Barnett.
Yeah, you wondered if Mizzou could dial it up defensively. Auburn's had their way on their offensive end. Phillips, active hands, good 2-on-1 break. Powerful finish by the 6'3" Cassius Ruction, who's been a terrific graduate transfer, outstanding shooter. Averages 37 minutes a game in SEC play, Robertson. That's the trust that Conzo Martin has in his game and the ability to make plays on the floor.
Here's Mustafa Heron. One other area of great improvement for this Auburn team has come at the free throw line. They're one of 4 teams in the country in which all 5 starters shoot 75% or better from the free throw line, including Heron, who comes in at an 80% clip.
78% as a team. Impressive.
Barnett gets free on the baseline. Missouri getting different looks with McLemore on the bench.
Miscommunication by Auburn. Heron had it. There was a screen. Lack of communication. Easy finish by Barnett to the rim.
Barnett halfway to his career high. Here's Murray. And Barnett rips it down.
Phillips gives Conzo Martin's team an element of quickness out on the floor. Good open shooter.
Knocked out of bounds by Nickel. Geis returns, replacing Phillips. A word from his coach, Conzo Martin. It's a hard-working first half for Terrence Phillips.
Tom, think of this. Missouri has built their season on the defensive end. You get SEC play. They only give up 63.5 points. That's best in SEC play. Auburn's already got 38. Make it 41 with a minute to go.
7 now for Heron. Yeah, Missouri held A&M to 60 Saturday in Aggie Land, but couldn't pull out the road win. Poked away. That was going to be Missouri's ball, and Porter saved it back to Auburn. Mustafa Heron. You know, you talked about this Auburn team playing unselfish basketball. Guys not searching for their own shot. Part of that is the tempo with which they play. Everybody knows they're going to get a look. And Porter banks it in.
That's one way to make it. He has trouble shooting. But you're right. It's not as though the first guy for Auburn shoots it every time. But if you're open, you take the shot.
Shot clock off. What an entertaining first half. Harper starts it at 9. Picks up his dribble. Deshaun Murray trying to make it happen with 3. A finger roll falls out, and Geis will hold it. 41-36 are scored to break. Wow. Anthony McLemore 5 blocks, but 3 personal fouls will be back on the floor to start the second half. lot of fun so far tonight in Columbia. We got another half to go. Our score 41-36 Auburn. Let's get you to the studio. Peter Burns and the boys. Jesse Hall in the columns here at the University of Missouri in a battle of Tigers. Number 19 Auburn leading at the break by 5 as we get ready to start the second half. Welcome back to Columbia. Tom Hart alongside John Sundell. This is a really fun Auburn team to watch. Easy to see why they could be in first place in the conference at the end of the night if they pull off a win.
Yeah, great tempo, entertaining. I don't think Mizzou took advantage of the early foul trouble that Auburn had. But it was a guy maybe no one thinks about, but we've talked about a lot, Deshaun Murray. Wide variety of things. Outside, inside defensively with steals. He has attacked when he had to. At 6'3", he finished around the rim. An impressive first half, 13 points. 6 of 6 from the foul line.
He didn't get this kind of coverage in the Big South Conference, did he? Balanced scoring for Auburn tonight. Deshaun Murray transferred in from Presbyterian, where he was the Big South Conference Freshman of the Year. He's now having a heck of a game tonight. His career high is 34. That came against mighty Longwood. And he's already bettered his season average tonight.
So, Tom, let's go back to my thought. Mizzou was 5 of 8 from the free throw line. Remember, early in this game, Auburn had 6 fouls, 7 fouls. So, Mizzou never took advantage of the foul trouble, the team foul trouble that Auburn had. They didn't get to the line enough.
Well, one thing they were able to do is keep McLemore on the bench, especially to start the second half. Auburn's do everything center, 5 points, 5 blocks, but also 3 fouls. Will start the half on the bench to go with Horace Spencer instead. And by the way, Spencer not much better in terms of the foul problems. He's got 2.
Tillman scoreless the first half, and Konza wanted to pound it inside to him. Jonte Porter with only 1 bucket, the banked-in three-pointer from up top.
Mustafa Heron off the mark. Spencer brings down the offensive board. Auburn is a fantastic offensive rebounding team. 20th in the country in offensive rebound.
Very difficult to put a body on their active offensive players. You can't block them out well.
Tillman with a foul 22 feet from the bucket. Wow. And that's his third. So I know Conzo Martin has been upset about some of the whistles that Jeremiah Tillman has seen over the course of the season. But there are also some very ill-advised fouls by the freshman.
Yeah, like that one. 2 minutes in the first half was all that Tillman saw on the floor. Now he picks up his 3rd personal. Here's a jump shooter. All you have to do as a big player is stay in front of that shot. No sense making the swipe. All of a sudden there was contact, 3rd personal foul. Conzo Martin's got a decision to make. They're over there shaking their head on the bench. Again, the focus today that Mizzou in practice was they want to pound it inside to Jonte Porter and Jeremiah Tillman. See if they can put pressure on this shorter Auburn squad.
Nice Brown makes Missouri pay from the free throw line. Tigers did have success with the bigs on the boards, plus 12 on the glass overall. Barnett pull-up jumper off the dribble. He's got 16.
Solid game, 6 of 8 from the field. Tough matchup for Barnett to match up with Mustafa Heron.
Deshaun Murray throws in another. He's got 18. I guess if you're a scorer at a lower level, you're still going to have that mentality even though the competition ramps up.
Yeah, no doubt. He doesn't have a problem getting shots off and knowing how to play. Tough night for Tillman. It's not going to do it.
Purrier comes in and replaces Porter instead of Tillman.
But what would the scouting report be on Murray, right? He's not one of the main scorers, even though he averages double figures. But he shoots 38% from the three-point line, 82 from the free throw line, so very productive. And if they didn't scout Murray like you scouted him from the Presbyterian days, you may not know those numbers.
Spencer with his 3rd. So both bigs, if you want to call them that for Auburn, the 6'7" McLemore, the 6'8" Spencer have committed 3 fouls apiece. McLemore remains on the bench. Yeah, I guess A&M neutralized Missouri's big last time out with their fantastic front line, but tonight it seems like the Tigers' front line has neutralized themselves, and now Tillman picks up his fourth.
I do think a part of it is maturity. If you were to say that we're going to pound it to Tillman and Jonte Porter, both are freshmen, both kind of offensively have up and down ball games. If you're playing against veteran players, there's Tillman with the contact trying to set the screen. It's one of the focal points that officials look at. 4 personal fouls. He'll sit on the sideline for a while.
13th Missouri turnover. Spencer closed up by Nico. Nico's going to see some run here tonight.
That's Spencer at 6'8" guarding Geis. They're quick, they're athletic.
The lefty Puryear on Murray. And a foul on Deshaun Murray. McLemore ready to check back in as Puryear goes to the free throw line.
And Bruce Pearl will have to manage McLemore-Spencer situation with both 3 personal fouls.
So here's McLemore, 3 personal fouls, but 5 blocks. He sat for the final 4+ minutes of the first half.
60 blocks on the season. At only 6 feet 7 inches.
It's amazing. It is amazing. Who's the best shot blocker you played against your time in the NBA?
Oh, by position, I would always say in the guard spot would be a guy like Michael Jordan.
Yeah, he was pretty good. Murray fouled by Puryear. Third on Puryear, by the way. Happy birthday to your coach. Stewart turned 83 on Saturday.
Still doing well, still healthy. It's always good to see him. Spends a lot of time out west in the wintertime.
Our Norm Stewart Court, Columbia, Missouri. The coaches, by the way, this week, coaches versus cancer, so they'll be in their sneakers. That was a fundraiser that was started by Coach Stewart. Puryear had a career high 30 against Auburn last time out. And that one just skipped off the rim. No, they're going to get this one on Auburn. I think it was Barnett, you're right.
Yeah. Shove.
Pretty impressive resume for Coach Stewart. He was the head coach here from '67 to '99. He won a national championship on the diamond of the Missouri baseball team back in the '50s.
A reason why they called him Stormin', Norman. A tough man, tough coach. He had tough teams.
Well, Auburn's longtime coach Sonny Smith is in the building tonight with the Auburn radio crew. I talked to him about Norm. He said, I came here and played in the Show Me Classic one time. He said, I come into the same state that have Frank and Jesse James. I think they both worked the game.
Good to see Coach Smith. I get to see him. Obviously, we see him every time we have Auburn. I talked to him after the Georgia game on Saturday when this Auburn team just ran Georgia out of the gym. And during the game, during the second half, he was sitting right next to the broadcast, and he took his headset off and elbowed me and said, that's how we do it. It's amazing how we play.
5 NCAA tournament appearances for Auburn, and he's sitting next to Rod Bramlett over there. They both had a couple great days here, and I know that because they made it to Bush's. Jared Harper has 4 now. Are we supposed to give equal airtime to the other radio crew, or are we okay?
We probably know those guys too, don't we?
Harper from Mableton, Georgia, played high school ball with Colin Sexton, who's now at Alabama. Auburn 16 of 17 from the free throw line tonight. That's going to win you a lot of games.
Well, you mentioned earlier, 78% as a team. 4 of their 5 starters over 80%. And the 5th starter right at about 80, just beneath it.
Barnett throws it away. Backcourt violation for Missouri. We've got an immediate timeout here at Columbia. Number 19 Auburn trying to keep it rolling. They could be in first place tonight with a win. They're up by 9.
One single day, 2 power conferences, 10 games with new stars, familiar legends, and epic matchups, all for bragging rights. The Big 12 SEC Challenge on ESPN this Saturday.
Well, that's going to be a monster weekend for both conferences, especially the SEC, a chance to prove where they stand within the college basketball world. Baylor, Florida should be a fun one in Gainesville. Texas Tech have been struggling lately. South Carolina get a chance for another signature win. Sexiest matchup, I think, is Trae Young and Colin Sexton going head-to-head for Oklahoma and Alabama from Tuscaloosa. And we will close it out with the big one being Kentucky going on the road to West Virginia. Do you think A&M has a shot in Allen Fieldhouse? They're bigs, and Kansas really a lack of depth inside.
You know, I would have said yes easily, but I watched A&M again last night. Something about their chemistry is not quite right. They're talented enough. It appears to me the motors collectively don't run high enough. Something about A&M. Their backs have been to the wall, and they've squeaked out a couple wins here or there. They're going to have to be ready in Allen Fieldhouse.
Turned over by Auburn. And Kiki Larkin. By the way, McLemore back on the floor for Auburn, and well, he was reaching for that one. Purdier pays it off.
Only 5 turnovers for this Auburn squad. Mizzou with 14 turnovers.
They're a young team, but they're a veteran team in the sense that they played 4 freshmen almost exclusively last year. David Mitchell on the floor now gives it up. Okiki skipped across the paint, and an Auburn turnover.
Turnovers lead to the push out front, and Barnett, because of his ability to shoot, defenders run to him. Good pass to teammate Purrier underneath.
Auburn able to set up the press after the turnover.
Good matchup, Brown on Robertson. Robertson with only 2 points.
Jordan Barnett got it. The St. Louis native having a monster night. He's got 19. On 5 threes.
And as you can tell, you better quickly get to Barnett. His height and size out front at 6'7" is tough to challenge when he goes up for his 3-pointer.
Brown gambled, commits his second.
We talk about the ability to make a run, and teams in this league that do make runs. Florida does it well, Auburn does it well. Missouri trying to get a little bit of a run going in this second half on their home court.
How about the runs last night, the Alabama-Ole Miss game? Alabama was on an 18-0 run. Ole Miss entered with a 14-0 run. Andy Kennedy's squad knocked off Alabama at home. Cassius Robertson, 3 ball. It's a 1-point game.
Textbook.
Timeout Auburn. 8-0 Missouri run. Bruce Pearl's concern was Missouri's 3-point shooting. He was right to be concerned. Tigers have knocked back-to-back triples. What a fantastic turnout tonight at Mizzou Arena by the student section especially, and the ticket office was awfully busy this past offseason. Not only did Conzo Martin get the job, but he also got the #1 recruit in the nation. Michael Porter Jr. played his high school ball just down the road at Tolton High School before spending a year out in Washington. And Missouri's missing out on arguably the most talented player to ever come through this program. Even though he's only played 2 minutes and he may still play this season, his signing kicked off a tidal wave of recruits that ended up in Missouri uniforms.
Yeah, it changed the face of Mizzou basketball. Yes, Conzo Martin had signed. The next day, Lorenzo Romar was released as a coach from Washington. It allowed Michael Porter Jr. to be able to change. His dad was hired here. Their family has been here. He grew up here. He likes to tease people on social media that he may be back. We'll have to wait and see.
Crowd into it now.
What do they get out of the timeout on the offensive end? Oh, nice pass. Beauty.
Spencer with the jam. By the way, the latest Michael Porter Jr. update from practice today. He was on the floor. He got some shots up, but he spent most of his time icing his back and stretching. He did not look like a player that's able to return in any short order.
How about a tiptoe shots? No jump shots, tiptoe shots. No jogging, no running, barely walking.
Larry Bird shot from his tiptoes. He was pretty good.
Yeah, he did.
He also had a bad back.
Yes, he did. At the older age.
I believe your partner Steve Stepanovich is the highest draft pick in Missouri history. Did he go second overall?
Second pick in the 1983 draft. Yes, he did.
Michael Porter Jr. would have probably given that a run for his money had he been healthy, but still likely a top 5 pick. Jonte Porter, his younger brother, with the strip. Geist has Robertson all alone. What a closeout, and Porter able to follow it up. It's a 1-point game again.
Good hustle by Heron defensively, but not the rest of the Auburn Tigers. MU with an easy putback.
Been a while since this building's been like this.
Yeah.
Heron kept it alive. What a shot by Bryce Brown.
Amazing. Quick release with confidence. Boy, big size advantage, but Murray keeps Jonte Porter off the block.
Speaking of great buildings, as Cassius Robertson draws a foul, you were at Auburn Arena this past weekend. That place has gone to DEFCON 11.
Yeah, loud, energetic, exciting. And they have a team that invites that kind of atmosphere.
Now, if I remember correctly, the first game you and I worked together was an Auburn game, actually featured Missouri before Bruce Pearl came over.
Yes.
And that building wasn't like that then.
No. No, what Bruce Pearl has done has changed the culture of Auburn basketball. And this season is so far a special season. This is a very, very good basketball team that trusts each other, and the chemistry right now is very good. We talked about losing Purifoy. We talked about losing Wiley to start of the year. I'm not saying what the chemistry would be with those two guys. I just know what the chemistry is now. It's very good. Different than other teams in the country or this league that struggle.
They also lost an assistant coach and 2 other staffers. And foul on Brown. That's his 3rd. By the way, one of the things as we take a look at this Bryce Brown foul on Cassius Robertson getting tied up, that Bruce Pearl pointed out today, speaking of staffs, he's like, how about my assistant director of basketball ops, Mike Burgermaster, and my senior manager, Ryan Langford. Now, those guys have taken on extended roles, and they deserve a ton of credit for our team's success as well.
Is that a pay raise or not?
I'm not sure. Porter skips it. Barnett rises, fires. Ooh.
You know what, Tom, better body movement on the offensive end in the second half for Mizzou. Quicker cuts, harder movement, ball movement's better. shot selection bit.
Geis threw it to the front row.
Timeout on the floor.
Immediate timeout here in Columbia. We've got a one-possession game with 11:34 to go.
Honey, did you know cricket covers over 99% of Americans?
Yeah, I did know that. I also knew that.
This holiday season, get the gift of coverage for $30 a month.
Alexa, call the living room.
Calling the living room.
You're locked in the garage again.
No. Yes.
Alexa, how many sticks of butter in a cup?
There are 2 sticks of butter in 1 cup.
Totally worth it.
Alexa, play the Grand Tour.
Auburn by 2 over Missouri. Great addition to Mizzou Arena. The statue of Norm Stewart, dedicated before the season opener this year here in Columbia. That was a heck of a weekend. Missouri beat Tennessee in football that Saturday night and knocked off Iowa State here in Mizzou Arena the night before. This place was electric. You and I were both here as fans that night.
Yeah, in the seats and the atmosphere, we hadn't seen that many years in Mizzou Arena. Fun. It was a fun weekend.
Meanwhile, this is a fun game tonight for the Auburn Tigers. First place is on the line after Florida was upset at home tonight by South Carolina. Their remarkable year continues. They're in first place right now. They could still be there with the victory. And to say this is unexpected, especially considering the tumultuous offseason, would be a major understatement. I asked, by the way, hang with me on this story. Chipper Jones is going into the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah,
so I had a conversation with Chipper a few years ago. I said, why are you such a clutch hitter? And he looked at me with some confidence in that Southern drawl, and he goes, because I'm a good hitter, Tom. So either you're good, if you're good, you're going to be good in the clutch, right? I said, Bruce, why are you such a good coach with the deck stacked against you? And he looked at me, and he basically said, well, I've won everywhere I've been. I'm a good coach. Unprecedented success at Southern Indiana. Took Wisconsin-Milwaukee to the tournament. 6 straight years of the tournament at Tennessee. It just took us a little while to get the foundation here at Auburn. But their backs were definitely against the wall. And a good coach on the hardwood is a good coach no matter.
And picked 9th preseason in the SEC. So he really looked at you and he just said, how do you like me now?
Yeah. Well, they pick a guy to wear that 4-14 shirt before every game. Perrier, pump fake, clears for the drive. And he was challenged by O'Keefe. Transition 3, banked in by Jared Harper. 1 for each side now. Geis got Harper in the air.
Not many guys that Geis is going to take inside and go over the top. Harper stands at only 5'10". Has had a slow night on the offensive end. 8 points, 2 of 7 from the field, been in double figures.
But that's a fantastic look to O'Keefe. Jared Harper came in with a competitive 5 assists a game. 3rd best mark in the conference.
11 straight games in double-figure points, trying to get to 12. The matchup, Heron on Barnett. Heron is a terrific defender. Good steal.
And the flush for Bryce Brown.
Mustafa is such a powerful player. Physical, tough, active, left-handed.
Not until Martin uses a timeout. Auburn has made 5 straight shots from the floor.
So Heron gets chest to chest with Barnett. He's got to defend him. He knows what he is in a jump shoot.
Martin said Brown in that last bucket. It was Heron after the steal. Biggest lead of the night for Auburn now.
Watch this pass. That's vision. Seeing the floor, seeing your teammates, seeing where the defense is, and here's the body to body. And I'll tell you what, Heron is a physical, tough player. Yes, he's listed as a guard. He can guard anybody on the floor. Positions 1 through 5, outstanding talent. SEC All-Freshman team a year ago. He averaged 15 points last year, right at 15 again this year. His numbers are down shooting the ball. Last year, 42% beyond the three-point line, only 29 this year, but I think he's a special talent.
Look at the numbers in the second half of the conference game for the Tigers, almost 48 points a game. Bruce Pearl likes to say that they kind of take guys that others didn't want, the island of misfit toys. Where Mustafa Heron had committed to Pitt and Jamie Dixon. That was a great program that was annually in the NCAA tournament before Dixon left to go back to his alma mater at TCU. When he left, Heron opened up his recruitment again and ends up in a lovely little village on the plains. He's from Waterbury, Connecticut, out of Sacred Heart. His dad Brian played at Central Connecticut State back in the mid-'80s. Another turnover for Missouri, the 17th, and then Mitchell gives it right back.
But how this game has changed. Mizzou got back into it. The crowd was into it. Since the last time out, I mean, Bruce Pearl's guys have stepped it up defensively. Missouri has to have an answer.
They'll keep the shot clock at 24. So not a turnover for Missouri. Tigers came in averaging 14 turnovers a game. They've turned it over 16 times tonight. They are just all over you defensively.
Yeah. Quick. We see it on the offensive end. Quick passing, quick movement. But defensively, quick footwork, quick hands. A pass that looks like it's there, all of a sudden that isn't. It's a turnover. And this Missouri team has just been awful with turning the basketball. 17 turnovers tonight.
No one's been immune. Short offensive rebound, Heron. 7th offensive rebound for Auburn.
And they will search for Okeke on spot up threes. He shoots 42%. Wow, right in his eye.
Harper's hit 2 threes this half. Jared Harper was 5'2" as a freshman in high school. He was dunking by the time he was a sophomore.
12 straight double-figure games and points for Harper.
Offensive foul on Cassius Robertson. And Missouri coming apart in the seams here.
Watch this, the quickness. When a guard has a big guy on him, you just want him to move his feet. All you want a big guy to do is move his feet, slide a little bit, get him leaning one way and pull the trigger. Harper's got a quick release, quick jump. This Auburn team is so different than a year ago. Same guys, but the pride they take on the defensive end is night and day from a year ago.
Auburn has matched Missouri's early 8-0 run with an 8-0 run of their own. 3 different Auburn Tigers have scored in double figures tonight. Harper again, and he hits it again.
Set play. He had made one. They ran him back down off a pick. Popped out. Nylon.
How come I never went to watch Pebblebrook High School in the Atlanta area play? Because he and Colin Sexton in the same backcourt. Good luck guarding those guys.
Yeah, no kidding. Wow. They send him down. They come back up. Spencer sets a good screen. He had just made the shot from their previous play. He's got a great release.
He had only been shooting 21% from behind the arc in conference play. Looks like he's out of his funk. Robertson.
Mizzou now searching for answers. Momentum for Auburn. Good pass.
And a beautiful reverse by Davion Mitchell for his first bucket. 9 different Auburn Tigers have scored. Conzo Martin uses a timeout. Missouri's deficit is the largest it's been all night. It's an 18-point lead. for number 19 in first place Auburn. Thanks to number 1, Jared Harper, who has 3 threes this half.
Hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
All right, how you doing?
Welcome. So, this is the all-new Chevy Traverse. What do you think?
This looks better than 99% of the SUVs out there.
It's very modern, sleek.
Maybe the most impressive part of the all-new Traverse is what's on the inside.
What are you doing here?
Oh, I missed you guys. I haven't seen you guys in so long.
What's happening?
We flew her out. It's a family car. We had to put your family in it.
Yeah, it gets 7 thumbs up.
Alexa, play Come and Get It everywhere.
What animal is a member of genus Canis and is also referred to as man's best friend? Player 2.
Dog.
That is correct.
Don't listen.
Let's take a look at tonight's Good Hands play, brought to you by Allstate.
The lob in the first half. Good pass from Harper to Hare, and then the active hands by Mustafa Hare. Explosive in the second half when the game was tight. All of a sudden, Auburn on a 13-0 run up to this 18-point lead.
So if you're curious who makes Auburn tick, remember Deshaun Murray had that great first half. But Jared Harper has 14 points. He's made 4 threes, 4 assists, and he hasn't turned the ball over. He also has 2 steals. Now remember, he played a ton last year as a true freshman. So even though he's just a sophomore, he's experienced in this league.
Yeah, plenty of minutes last season. Tom, this is even though young, but it's a veteran Auburn team. A team that's different than last year. Again, same thing. They seem to trust each other.
Another Tiger turnover. Turnover number 18 for Mizzou. 3 on 2 the other way. And a step through and a bucket for Mitchell. He's got 4 since coming off the bench.
They have had 2 possessions in a row that were easy layups at the rim with no Missouri defenders.
15-0 Auburn run. Missouri, a couple of Saturdays ago, came back in the second half with an 18-point deficit on the road at Arkansas, down 20 here against Auburn. So it's a Tiger team that can get hot behind their shooters, as they did that day in Fayetteville. Morris Spencer with his 4th person. And Kevin Puryear will re-enter for this week.
The challenge for Missouri to get back in, can they handle the quickness on either end of the floor?
Yeah.
I mean, Auburn looks like the quicker team. They've got energy, moving the basketball, and it's a challenge right now for Missouri to guard.
It's almost as if, as Cassius Robertson knocks down the first, they're going to have to rely on Auburn going cold, because if they're going to get back in this game, the tempo's going to go up, and Auburn's going to have to get shot.
When they made their run, remember, Auburn got sloppy with the basketball. 3 or 4 turnovers, a couple missed shots. Missouri made a run.
That ends Auburn's 15-0 run. O'Keefe. Tillman got away with a fistful of jersey in that. Remember, he's playing with 4. Cassius Robertson trying to shoot Mizzou back into it. He's got a dozen.
And that's how it starts. This on one end, a 3 on the other. Plenty of time left at 6:30 to go in this game.
Getting closer. Harper for 3. Yes, Jared Harper is unstoppable in this second half. Wow. He has 14 since the break and 17 total.
Yeah, what a second half. What a last 5 minutes for him.
Yep. Auburn's made 11 of their last 14.
You know, Tom, they may have a size advantage, Missouri, but they're having a hard time with their bigs on the block because Auburn is being physical. Now, whistled for a foul that time was Mitchell on the defensive end, and Mitchell only goes 6'1". Purrier trying to post him up. He kept pushing him off the block. Missouri can't establish low post position.
Kevin Purrier back to the free throw line, back to this remarkable season for Auburn. They haven't been to the NCAA tournament since Cliff Ellis was the coach. That was in 2003. Went to the Sweet 16 and lost by 1 to Jim Boeheim in Syracuse. They won the '99 SEC regular season title. Right now, this is a first place Auburn team. And they lead by 17 on the road in a building where Missouri has only lost once, and that was to Florida. Back cut, played right off of the face of Heron, and he recovers for the jam.
How about the pass by Jared Harper? And another turnover.
Well, we're seeing Missouri's weakness in a big way. Ball handling. Another assist for Harper.
Good eye contact. Instead of going over the top, Heron went back door, no weak side help. Tillman threw it away when they took it out. A tough night for Jeremiah Tillman, the freshman. Not many minutes. Foul trouble, now a couple turnovers.
This is a really good Missouri team that has been in just about every game this season. They've lost some late. I go back to the Utah game, their first truly without Michael Porter Jr. Didn't make the trip out to Salt Lake City. They got blown out in that one. But otherwise, they've been in a lot of close games down the stretch. Sean Murray. Well, he was fun to visit with this afternoon. He's really taken advantage of this opportunity to step up in the level of play. Auburn came in for their shoot-around last night, and the Mizzou band leaves their drum kit out here at Mizzou Arena. Sean Murray saw when he walked in, sat down, pulled up the stool, and just started going to town with his bare hands. No sticks needed. He told me, he said, yeah, I've always played the drums, played it in the church band growing up. A little entertainment for Auburn. Listen in.
Game day tomorrow.
You think Bruce keeps his guys loose?
My goodness. He may want a return trip here.
Yeah, I think he might.
The night he's had.
Cassius Robertson a transfer as well. He's got 15 now. Deficit 16 with 4.5 to go. Pearl screaming, move.
As well as Auburn's played offensively, they don't want to get stagnant. They want to keep moving the ball, find open looks. They aren't bashful. Another big bomb by O'Keefe.
You know what? It's a shame that Auburn's not playing in the challenge this weekend.
Yeah, it really is. I think there's quite a few coaches who would like that to be scheduled. Maybe start looking mid-December or something about what matchups would be good to have.
Yeah, well, SEC has more teams in the Big 12. There's always going to be teams that miss out. Auburn plays LSU on Saturday, and Missouri's not playing in the challenge either, but it would certainly be good for the SEC to have the top team in the league playing in the challenge. Dante Porter with the rebound. Jordan Geis left open for 3.
So now let's go back to what you talked about, Tom, in the first half.
Okay.
You got ball handlers that are good for Auburn, and they all shoot above 80% from the free throw line out front. Tough team when they have a lead to challenge it. The quickness of Harper, the quickness of Heron, the quickness of a Bryce Brown, and they all shoot 80% from the foul line.
They're able to bleed the clock, and even though they missed the jumper, they use all but 1 second on the shot clock. McLemore with block number 6. Incredible. And that chases us to another timeout on the floor here at Missoula Arena. Got a 1670 on his SET. This is just smart defense. Don't let it get near the rim.
I thought I'd lost my business in that fire, but my agent was there before the flames were out. He said, together, we're going to rebuild. We've got 25 employees who depended on it, and that's all that mattered to me. My independent agent and auto owners made sure we didn't skip a beat. I mean, we didn't miss a single payroll. Incredible.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there. Auto Owners Insurance.
After the game, the SEC Now team will have full recaps and breakdowns of all the college hoop games, including Frank Martin in South Carolina. They're big on the win on the road in the O-Dome. It's right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Well, Missouri knew they were going to get pressure from Auburn tonight. Terrence Phillips has played a strong game for the Tigers. He's back on the floor. Terrence founded a nonprofit this past offseason. One of the keys to his nonprofit was a toy drive for local youth over the Christmas break. And he said, I don't want to just collect the toys and send them out. He goes, I want to meet the kids. I want to meet the kids one-on-one and spend some time with them. So that was a good run first time through. He's going to continue it. And this next August, he's going to do a back-to-school backpack drive for local youth that are needy. Think about how much time these guys give to academics and to athletics. To be able to find time away from the gym is impressive. Horace Spencer has just found out.
2 full-time jobs, being a student and an athlete. It's a full-time job. Terrence Phillips, well thought of in this community.
He's the mayor, isn't he? He's taking the title away from you.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice. You can have that. But he's well thought of on campus. He's a part of the campus, and he has enjoyed his stay at Mizzou now in his junior season.
Out of Orange County, California, played prep ball at Oak Hill. That's pretty good. He broke the Oak Hill school record for assists formerly held by Jeff McInnes, who played his college ball for Dean Smith in North Carolina. McInnes was also Deshaun Murray's AAU coach in the Charlotte area.
Maybe the impressive thing about Phillips is the way he has handled fewer minutes. He was a big starter most of his freshman season, all games. Sophomore season, majority of the games. This year, limited number of minutes, but the coaching staff will always say he shows up with a smile on his face for practice. There have been games he can contribute more, some less. He has not pouted. He has not gone away and thought of doing something else.
Gonzo Martin's kind of like Euro coach Norm Stewart. He's a lot like the coach that he played for at Purdue, Gene Cady. He's demanding, and he will get in your face, and he has challenged Terrence Phillips a time or two this season. A reach in by Geis. That's his fourth. So what's next for Auburn? They'll be in first place after the game tonight. They've got LSU Saturday at home. That place is going to be on fire. What a fantastic atmosphere at Auburn Arena. Then they go to Ole Miss on Tuesday before Vandy comes to town on Saturday the 3rd.
You know, that Ole Miss matchup and Auburn fascinates me, Tom, because they're similar teams.
Yeah.
Their position, right? You get 4 guards out front attacking each other. That game will be in the hundreds, I believe.
DeAndre Burnett dropped 24 for Ole Miss in the win against Alabama last night. Geis gets his money's worth.
Runs on the Tigers for 15. Jordan Geis.
He's done for the night.
And the team's 8.
Tied up Bryce Brown, who's walking gingerly on the ankle.
And let's hope he's okay. Could have been a knee. Looked like took a knee to a knee.
Bryce Brown's
And Bruce Pearl said, "Are you okay? I will sub you right now," knowing that he's one of his star players. But Bryce Brown said, "No, coach, I'm going to the free throw line. I've got 2 free points, and then you can get me."
Auburn has forced Missouri into 20 turnovers. It's Mizzou's 4th game with 20 turnovers this year. Bryce Brown Jr. from the Atlanta area out of Tucker High School. Knocks them both down. And he'll take his points right over there for the rest of the game.
Most shooters do not give up the free ones.
Bruce Pearl only plays 9 guys. Here's what's coming up next for Mizzou. They go to Starkville on Saturday.
Boy, tough games coming up for Missouri.
Here's Phillips. Including Kentucky here on February 3rd.
Well, think of that. You have the next 4 games. 3 are on the road, and your home games against Kentucky. Tough stretch. Hard to win on the road in this league. Now Auburn's going to have a huge victory tonight. South Carolina, unbelievable victory against a very good Florida team at Florida.
Oh, wait. Joe Lunardi has 8 teams in the tournament out of the SEC. That would be a record, as Missouri as a 10 seed. That was Guy's 5th. Did you see who Joey Brackets had Missouri matched up with? It was almost cruel. He had it matched up with Rhode Island in the first round. Tigers lost to Tom Garrett in Rhode Island, an upset back in the 80s. And then Xavier in the second round up there to win that one. If you know Missouri history, it was painful that one.
You know your Missouri history, so you stared at that and thought,
that's just not nice. So how about South Carolina? Now, did they enter the discussion?
I think when you're in a league like this, it's still January. There's still a lot of basketball to be played. It's really going to be the teams down the stretch. Can they separate from other squads?
Yeah.
When you look at that schedule that Missouri has, they have a tough road ahead of them the next 4 games.
But everybody's in play because there's not one elite team or 2 that will run away with it, like we've seen in the past with a Kentucky or a Florida. They go 16-2. And they are 5 losses to win this year.
And the RPI is so good for the league and so high amongst each team. Each win you have moves you up. Now there will be down the stretch, there's going to be 2 or 3 teams fighting, even in Lunardi's world, for a spot. And they could be fighting each other.
Well, just to put it in perspective, Auburn first place in the league, top 20 team. They come to Mizzou Arena tonight, and they came in as the underdog, according to the experts out in the desert. So it shows you where the league stands. Phillips got tripped up. He's all right.
And the other part it says, Tom, is maybe there still isn't a true belief in this Auburn school.
Sure. Well, I mean, I don't want to say they do it with smoke and mirrors because they don't. But you look at them on paper, this team shouldn't have 18 wins. They shouldn't be 6-1. They got a 5'10" point guard and a 6'7" center. They have a 6'3" 4-man. They don't shoot it particularly well from behind the arc. Man, they do a lot of things really well, and they are fun to watch. You know who I'd want to be? I'd want to be in charge of selling tickets for all.
You think it's easy?
Well, not only have you already made your commission, but you could probably take the rest of the year off because I don't know if there's any left to sell.
That's right. Much easier to call the donors this time of year.
Yeah, that's right.
18-2.
And I was thinking earlier about the run that the SEC had last year in the postseason. Who's to say this Auburn team can't be like South Carolina last year?
Yeah, no kidding. Well, you know, the game has changed. So what teams make runs? Teams that have multiple scores, guys that can put it in the bucket. Last year, South Carolina didn't have it until they all of a sudden had it in the NCAA tournament. Multiple guys scored the ball. Somehow magically. Auburn's got scores. Again, they're a team that can make runs unlike many squads.
They get off of offensive rebounds. They block shots. Talking with Pearl about it today, and he points out something I think should be repeated. There's not really an elite team in the nation this season. Villanova's a great team. Purdue is a fantastic team. Duke is loaded with some very talented freshmen. Michigan State's up there. There's a lot of really good teams, but all of these supermodels have their moles. Flaws to be had. Brett Rowell on the floor for Missouri. It's his first foul. By the way, the guys with the Feed the Wolf t-shirts have left. Tip of the cap to Adam Wolf, the 6'7" junior, who would be on the floor at this point, but tore his ACL about a week and a half ago. He's out for the year.
Tom at home. Missouri only giving up 63 points a game in conference. At home, Auburn goes on the road. They've got against a very good defensive team.
This is the best start for Auburn since their SEC regular season title team in 98-99 started 19-1. They will have won 16 of their last 17 and the second best 20-game start since that squad. Are you going to bet against this Auburn team?
I like them.
Well, you've seen them before. This is kind of shocking to me to see them in person.
Yeah, no, I saw them Saturday in the second half against Georgia. First half they weren't very sharp. They missed open shots. Second half they were explosive. And you can tell when you see them in person, as you are, how good they are defensively because of their quickness. Love their chemistry. I love the way they battle for each other. Love the way they share the ball in the offensive end. And they're not mad when other guys take shots.
Missouri cut the deficit to 1 with 13 minutes left, and then Auburn went on a 15-0 run. Big rebound from Cole Blackstock. Patrick Kime got in the game. Bruce Pearl drops 91 on the road. And the Tigers from Auburn have moved to 18-2. They are your first place team in the SEC. Let's get you to the studio.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mizzou Athletics would like to thank you for attending tonight's game.